Welcome. In this meditation, I'm going to guide you through pelvic diaphragmatic breathing. So get yourself comfortable in a position. You may want to be lying down. You may want to be kind of sitting on some yoga blocks. You may want to feel the contact against your genitals and your pelvic floor. Some people like to roll up a towel and pop that underneath. You can do this on your gym ball. You can do this lying in bed before you go to sleep. The idea is that you can do this exercise anywhere. This is a breathing skill that you can do absolutely anywhere, driving the car. However, if you're new to this and you're learning this skill, it can be quite helpful just to focus, get in a position where you're relaxed and comfortable to focus. And some people find that useful lying down. But please get in a position that feels most effective for you. And you want to be able to be in a position where you can take a deep breath. Okay, and we'll begin the practice. So because this is a meditation, I invite you to close your eyes. You don't have to close your eyes, just if it feels comfortable for you. Allow us just that space to completely tune out and tune into the body. So we're just going to start with a couple of steps to really help us soften our body and ground ourselves. So just with closing your eyes, or if you just want to keep your eyes soft, we're just going to focus on softening our face. So just start by softening your jaw. You may want to just open your mouth slightly. And softening the eyes, softening the forehead, softening the cheeks, all the way down to your ears. Just really letting all the muscles in your face, just letting them melt all the way down. We're really taking off the mask. And noticing any tension in the face. And the next step we're going to do is just soften the belly. So letting our belly unwind itself, really let it go. Really handing it over to the space, either the ground beneath us if we're lying down, or just the space in front of us if we're sitting. Just really let that belly go. Let it go soft. Let it go floppy. Full permission here. Let it go. And then we're just going to soften our pelvis. Soften our shoulders. And just become aware of the weight of your body in contact with the ground. The weight of your pelvis in contact with the ground. And we'll begin our pelvic breathing by just placing a hand over your belly. And we're just going to begin to encourage a gentle and deep breath. We're just going to start as we're breathing in, just drawing our breath down into our tummy. You may become aware of what's happening with your breathing. Is your breathing short? Is it long? Is it in your chest? What part of your body is moving when you're breathing? And as you're becoming aware of that, see if you can gently invite your breath to go a little bit lower down into your belly. Just drawing that breath down. And as you exhale, you can really start to soften your body on exhale. So drawing the breath into your belly, feeling the expansion, welcoming that breath into a soft belly. And exhale, let it go. Let yourself just sink into the ground with every exhale. Keep going, drawing the breath in, expanding. Exhaling, sinking further and further into the ground. Lovely. And if you're finding this tricky at any point, that's completely okay, and that is normal for not having any experience in this. Just by using your intention will help create neural pathways for this new skill. So I invite you now to place your hand. You're going to take your hand a little bit lower down. You're going to place your hand over your lower belly or your pubic bone area. So that area, that bone at the front of your pelvis, your bladder area, you can just place one hand over that area. You can optionally place your other hand over your chest, just as a little bit of feedback. And we're just going to invite the breath even further down. Can you bring your breath down into your pelvic floor? Can you bring it all the way down towards your pubic bone? And if you're finding this tricky, you can focus on just drawing your breath into your lower abdomen. So just a little bit lower than what we've already been doing. But the idea here is we're really aiming for that expansion on the inhale, drawing the breath into the pelvis. So you imagine the pelvic bowl is like a bowl shape. It's a circle, yeah. So we're really looking at that, expanding that like a balloon when we inhale. And then as you exhale, can you feel that pelvic floor soften? Can you feel it relax as you exhale? Keep trying there. We're drawing the breath in, gently down. And as we exhale, almost letting your back passage go, letting your genitals soften, letting that area in contact with the ground just sink that bit further into the ground. And this doesn't need to be a huge, deep inhale. This is just it's more of a gentle drawing the breath down. And we're just bringing the breath low down as we fill the pelvic bowl, letting it expand with breath. Exhale, let it soften back to resting position. Keep that going. Drawing the breath in, letting the pelvic floor really stretch. We're giving it a lovely expansion here. We're giving it a lovely stretch. You can even visualize those pelvic floor muscles lengthening and expanding as we're bringing that lovely breath in. And then as you exhale, really visualize those muscles just letting go, really softening that recoil back down to resting position. Again, finding your own pace with this is absolutely fine. Drawing the breath in, keep going down. And then exhale, let the pelvic floor soften. Again, if you're finding this really hard, that's really normal if you're new to this. Just focus on lower abdomen. Just focus on lower abdomen, and as you get more comfortable and confident, you can start to challenge it a little bit more by bringing it lower down. But again, drawing the breath in, feeling that expansion of that bowl, just like a balloon, really stretching out. And then exhale, let it go. Feeling that back passage drop off. Again, inhaling. We're just drawing the breath in. This is so subtle. This is the art of it. It's a subtlety here. It's not huge movement. We're just focusing on a subtle expansion, a subtle stretching in the pelvic, a subtle expanding in the pelvic bowl, and a subtle shift in relaxation when we exhale, letting it go. And what you can do to make it a little bit more effective is some people find it helpful to really exaggerate that exhale. So when you're breathing in, holding it there, and then letting it go. Do a few more there. We're breathing in, holding it there, really exhaling, that real cleansing breath from your mouth. Last time, breathing in, hold it there, letting it go. We don't need to control and lengthen the exhale, because by doing a lovely cleansing exhale, we're really encouraging that nervous system relaxation, that lovely release of the body from the breath. So you can just practice that, keeping your face soft, keeping your jaw soft, your forehead soft, your eyes soft, keeping the belly soft, keeping the pelvic floor weighted onto the floor or onto the blocks. Lovely. And this just takes practice. Just breathing in, feeling that pelvic floor expand. Some people feel like it's not a bearing down, but it's a pressure that you may feel moving into your pelvis. So this is very important if you do have any worries or concerns that you see a pelvic health physio, because we ensure that you're not bearing down, but you may feel a kind of pressure coming into the pelvis, almost like you're widening in between your hips. And as you exhale, let it soften. Let those hips soften. Again, drawing the breath down into the pelvis. Really almost like your front bone and your backbone are separating, because the breath's coming in and really widening that pelvis. Sometimes the visual of the front bone and backbone kind of moving apart or lengthening. They're not actually moving apart, but the idea of the expansion in the pelvis. And as you exhale, letting it soften. Continue to practice, keeping your breath soft. Doesn't need to be huge breaths. The key is to draw down the breath, not draw in so heavily, but draw down. It's a deep, gentle breath down. Focusing on feeling the movement in your lower abdomen and pelvic floor. And as we start to bring the breath into the pelvic floor, just become aware of the front part of your pelvic floor, just where your front bone is. You may want to take a chance as you inhale just to really become aware of this front area. And exhale. And again with the back of your pelvic floor, so that lovely sacrum bone that supports the back of our pelvis. Just become aware of the back of your pelvic floor, taking an opportunity to draw the breath, particularly into that area. And exhale, letting it soften. And just become aware of the right side of your pelvic floor. Drawing your breath into this space. Don't worry if this is hard or you're struggling to feel anything. That is okay. And like any skill, it takes practice. And bringing your attention over to the left side of your pelvic floor. Taking a moment to draw your breath into this space. Which is helping your brain map out this area. And just become aware of your genitals. Bringing that breath right down to the tips of your genitals. Becoming aware of them. Taking this opportunity to bring the breath into that space. The breath and the awareness. Keeping the face soft, the tummy soft, and the breath soft. Okay, so coming to the end of this practice, I will leave you to stay in this space, stay with this breathing for as long as you like.